Well, good morning. Today we are joined by two City of Decatur department leaders. To my right, we have Decatur Chief of Police Nate Allen, who will update us on how our law enforcement officers are taking precautions against COVID-19 while still keeping Decatur safe. To my left, we have Decatur Park and Recreation Director Jason Lake. You've heard us mention throughout the press conferences that our parks, trails, and playgrounds a lot lately. Jason will give us information about our facilities and an update on how Parks and Recreation is responding to the current public health order. And then again, we are so thankful to have Kelly Halbrooks helping us with signing. Now, just a couple of updates from a municipal level. Whenever we met Monday, we had 41 confirmed cases in Morgan County. And today I'm pleased to report that we still have 41 confirmed cases in Morgan County. That means that our residents continue to do a wonderful job adhering to the guidelines as established by the latest order. Again, we just encourage you to not become complacent and continue on that marathon path. Pleased to announce that we have a testing site that opens today in the city. The opening of the site will be at the Morgan County Health Department located at 3821 Highway 31. That opens today at 1 o'clock, and it's certainly good news. There is no charge for testing, and if you go to the health department, they ask that you stay in your vehicle. For more information, please contact the Morgan County Health Department at 256-353-7021. That's 256-353-7021. Yesterday, talking with Congressman Mo Brooks' office, we were pleased to learn, and you may have seen in the news, that stimulus checks for qualified residents and families are being deposited. Some residents already acknowledged receipt of their stimulus deposit. Know that paper checks, checks that will arrive via postal service, will take a bit longer. We encourage residents to spend these funds locally as opposed to using them for online purchases. Also, we want to encourage you to reach out to our elderly neighbors. Now more than ever, it's important to reach out to the elderly in our community. Today, make it a point to call and check on someone. Importance of the stay-at-home order. Our efforts and adherence to the health orders we've received are paying off, as I mentioned with the data that we shared at the beginning. Remember that playgrounds and public athletic courts remain temporarily closed. I want to encourage you, if you have questions, to remember to reach out to your city council representatives or me. Our information is available on our website at DecaturAlabamaUSA.com. That's DecaturAlabamaUSA.com. Again, we want to encourage you to order curbside, takeout, or delivery. Getting some great feedback from our restaurants and about your attention to that. Thank you for what you're doing. And remember to purchase a gift card to support local businesses. City Hall operations, City Hall remains open, but by appointment only, and that's with the exception of the police department, which is open 24/7. A reminder that our garbage collection will continue to operate as normal, and then our curbside recycling is temporarily suspended. So with that, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our Chief of Police, Nate Allen. Chief Allen. Chief Allen is serving as our incident commander. And Chief, you're doing a wonderful job, and we certainly appreciate you and the leadership and the years of experience that you bring.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And to talk about the police department is still operating on a 24/7 schedule. We're in full operation. Our officers are very much aware of how to use their PPEs and when to use them. Right now, we have absolutely no one who has been exposed and maybe contracted the virus, which is good. We have taken a lot of precautions, and we have the proper PPEs to go out and provide service to the citizens. We're still doing everything that we would normally do. The biggest thing is high visibility. The second biggest thing would be is to educate the citizens, educate you all on what you can and cannot do, what the order says. We understand as time is running by and we all are getting a little bit sick of being at home and not being able to go out and do the things that we normally do. But remember, this is a long-paced issue, a long-paced incident where we're going to be there for a while. We are looking at how do we proceed on. I know the governor announced yesterday that she has designed several committees to look at reopening the state. We also are looking at how do we reopen the city from that perspective in conjunction with the governor's orders on how she wants to reopen the state. So just give it a little bit more time. Remember, the police department is here for you. The city government is here for you. And we in this for the long run. And our primary goal and function is to save lives and prevent exposure. And I'll take questions when time for questions. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. All right, Jason, it's springtime in Decatur, and this is always an active time for Parks and Recreation, trying to keep our everything maintained and looking nice. So how has that changed with the COVID-19?
Well, we still are functioning. We are still cutting grass. We're still doing many things. As you mentioned before, basketball courts, tennis courts, playgrounds, recreation centers, Old State Bank, and Train Depot are still closed. At the Old State Bank and the Train Depot, we have been doing kind of an outreach program through Facebook where we go over some history of things in the depot, in the Old State Bank. These are things that you can watch. Some of the things he's doing, you can get involved in. We've had really good turnout. We've had over 25,000 people that have viewed these, so that's been a positive. If you see anything that you would like to see from those areas or even other areas, send us a message. We'd be happy to do that. The offices at Fort Decatur and for maintenance remain open. If you see something at a park or in a right-of-way as far as trees, you can call 256-341-4760, and they can put a work order in to have those things looked at. I think the community has done a great job. We've had storms recently, and as far as calling 911 to report those, that is the correct way to do that. We appreciate you doing that, and we've had good response on those, even with a essential crew. We are running more crews right now. All of the contracted mowers, the ones that do the right-of-ways, alleys, and some of the flower beds and stuff on city properties, they are working. We do have limited staff that is still mowing, but we're only bringing in the staff that can work under CDC guidelines with the 6 foot and the other things that are necessary to bring people back. But they are mowing. It just may be a little longer to get to a certain area than you would see in a different year for right now. Fort Decatur's offices are open. You can use the contact list off of the website or call 341-4931, and that will get you to the office at Fort Decatur. And any questions you may have about parks or any of that, we can answer at that number. Building maintenance for City Hall is still going forward with projects that were emergency projects as far as heating and cooling. Once again, it's limited staff, but those jobs are going forward. Point Mallard, right now, the campground is open. We do have people working. We're cutting grass there, trying to keep it where it looks good, and preparing for the next steps when those become available. Once again, if you have any questions, especially if you see anything, please call maintenance. We are working. We're getting to places with a limited crew, but they are getting to things, and they have been able to take care of the things that the city needs right now.
Thank you, Jason. Jason, you mentioned 25,000 views. We're fortunate that we have a lot of wonderful museums in our city, but 25,000 views via Facebook just for the Old State Bank and the train depot. So with that, I'd like to encourage our viewers to, if you haven't, be sure to like or follow a couple of pages, the City of Decatur social media platforms, Decatur Police Department, and Decatur Parks and Recreation, all their social media platforms. So with that, now we will take a few questions.
Good morning, everyone. Emmy Long, Public Information Liaison here. Our first question is coming from the Decatur Daily, and it is for Chief Allen. How have traffic accidents decreased in the city since social distancing measures have been taken?
Traffic accidents have decreased because of the morning, noon, and afternoon rush hour. Traffic has decreased. Whenever there's a decrease in traffic on the roadways, then that actually leads to a decrease in traffic collisions, which is always good for us to note that there is a decrease in traffic collisions right now, but that's just due to the lack of people being on the streets.
Okay. Second question, also from the Daily, and this one's for Jason. What are the plans for Point Mallard Golf Course moving forward?
Well, first, we wish all recreation was open. You know, with the times that we're in, there's had to been changes with all of them, if it's tennis or basketball or golf. We're evaluating those situations in coordination with the incident commander and DPD, and once there is a different decision made, we'll make that available.
Okay. Thank you so much. We're currently getting a question right now. One more for Chief Allen from the Daily. What has the domestic violence call rate been since this has started?
Domestic violence call rates has actually decreased. At first, for the first 3 weeks, it was down really, really low. We're starting to pick up a little bit more now. I think the longer people stay inside a residence with each other, that can create a disconnect and maybe a disturbance. But for the most part, our domestic violence calls are still down.
Okay. Thank you, Chief Allen. I think we have one more coming in. One more for Jason. Has the occupancy rate for the Point Mallard campground gone up or down?
The number of people camping? Is that
Yes.
correct? It has stayed steady.
Okay, perfect. We're checking on questions now. And that's it.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. We will return at 10 o'clock Friday, April the 5th, I believe that'll be the 17th, excuse me. And we will be joined, we'll have two other guests with us, but one of our guests will be Secretary of Alabama Department of Labor, Fitzgerald Washington, will be a guest with us via WebEx. So thank you, and we'll see you then. Good job. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.